dreamed of, or that point which we aspire to get to in our various careers. Hence, the need for us to discuss on this topic, maximizing opportunities for career growth. Thank you very much, Career Life Nigeria, for deciding to bring this topic to the fore to enlighten the members of the group. So I just delve right into defining the keywords in the topic. So we have maximize, opportunities, and career. So maximize means it's all about trying to make the best use of whatever you have available. So it's when you say maximize, means whatever you have available, how do you make the best use of it? How do you optimize it to become the very best tool for you at any given time? Opportunities it's a time or set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. It is also a chance for employment or promotion. So it's a chance, it's a time, it's not planned, it just pops up, and then it's only if you're ready for it that you'll be able to make good use of that opportunity. Then a career is an occupation or profession, especially one requiring special training, followed as one's life work. So a career is that field, that line which you decided to throw, which best fits your plan for your life, and you decided to pursue that path. It could be in HR, it could be in medicine, it could be in law, it could be in sales or marketing, whatever field that you've decided to choose. So that is now your career. And in the course of your lifespan, you can switch careers, obviously. I've seen someone who started as a doctor, now from doctor to being a HR person, now is an operations person. So I've seen people switch their career lives, change different careers in their lifespan. So it's possible to change your careers also. Then I delve in. How do you identify opportunities? It's one thing to be in a career, it's one thing to be in a chosen field, and it's another thing for you to be able to identify opportunities. Opportunities are always there. Opportunities are bound. They're always there. But the thing is that people do not really bend down to look and identify those opportunities. They come in a short time. They come in so fast. So if you are sensitive to your environment, if you're able to, if you're able to like put your eyes down and read through your environment, you'll be able to pick out those opportunities that are bound for you. So opportunities are bound even in your current place of work. What do you do in times when your boss goes on leave? How do you make use of that opportunity to showcase yourself as someone who can get to that next level? When there are vacancies that are there in your place of work, do you just hide and say, oh, well, it's not for me, I can't deal, and you won't go for it, and they end up bringing someone from outside to occupy that role? Meanwhile, you have the required skills, you have the potential to be in that role. Opportunities also abound outside the organization via various job boards and various job adverts that we see online on social media. When you see job vacancies outside, what do you do? Sometimes we tend to sabotage ourselves. We tend to downplay what we have in us. We tend to downplay, the skills that we have in us and say, oh, this one, well, it's not for me. I can't apply. I'm not qualified. Research has shown that you do not need to be 100% qualified for so let's say you see a job advert and there are like 10 things there on the job requirements for the role. You don't need to have 100%, like 10 over 10, before you can be able to apply for such roles. You can, if you're confident enough, you can have like 70, 80 and still apply for it, and you could still get the job. As long as you prepare well for the interview and you're able to show your interviewers that you can do this and you're the right person for the job. You can also get through your network. So are you part of a professional network? Are you part of what is your social network? What is your social capital? It's said that your network is your net worth. Who are those you connect to? Who are those that you roll with? in terms both at work and outside work. When you tend to connect more with the hypos than the low, hypos means the high performance, and you tend to to shift more towards that ladder of growing in your career than when you connect more with low performance. Join a professional association. Just so many WhatsApp groups of different professional bodies for different careers. You can join them, and from there you can build network and also gain opportunities to exponentially grow your career. You can also get opportunities via social media. How active are you on LinkedIn and other social network, both professional sites and the social networks? How active are you on it? Are you able to show forth your skills through those social media, through which I've seen so many people that have gotten jobs and gigs and engagements through social media, and even contracts via social media. So there are opportunities that are bound right there in social media. Even if we have questions or comments, you can drop them in the chat box and would address them later. Hello, can you guys hear me? Tell me.
We can still hear you very clearly, ma'am.
Okay. So now let's go right in. How do you maximize opportunities? It's one thing for you to see an opportunity, and another thing for you to know how to maximize those opportunities. Personally, as an individual in my career, I started as an HR officer, and then I have grown to become a mid-level. I've grown to become a management in HR, to be part of management in HR. How was I able to do it within my short career span? You have to, the first and primary thing for you to do is to have a career. You need to take time out, sit down with yourself and plan your career out. Map out a plan. Okay, this is where I am. This is where I intend to be. And then what are the things I need to do to achieve those plans? So let's say you have a plan that, okay, in the next 5 years, I want to move from certain field to become probably a data analyst, or grow to be a product manager, whatever field that you intend to delve into. What are those things that are required for you to get to that point in the next 5 years, in the next 2 years, in the next 10 years, whatever plan you set for yourself in your career? But it said that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So it's important for you to have a plan for your career. Take out time to map out a plan for your career. And with a plan at hand, you can determine the exact steps to take to position yourself. If you don't have a plan, you will just be, going through with your career just like that, haphazardly. But once you have a plan, okay, so time, this is when I'm supposed to do this. And you are monitoring and tracking yourself. So you know that, okay, if by this time I said, within 1 year, I need to get this thing. And then by that one, and then 6 months down the line, I'm nowhere close to it. That your plan would align you back. I said, no, this is what we've planned for ourselves. This is what we have mapped out for ourselves, and that would, and that's the number one way for you to maximize the opportunity. You must have a plan. You must have a plan. It's necessary. It's important for you to have a plan, because without a plan, what are you doing? Without a plan, you don't even know the next step to go. You don't even know how to move about in that career. So let's say you are, for example, in HR, there are HR journalists, and then there are specialized roles. What do you intend to be? What plan do you have? Do you want to still be a specialist? And then what things do you need to do to move from being a generalist to become a core specialist in whatever field you determine? So those are things that planning will help you. There's a noise coming in. Then, okay. Then after you carry out your career plan, you need to know yourself. You need to carry out a self-analysis of yourself. When you become self-aware of yourself, you can make the right decisions about your career. Some people, they don't even know who they are. They don't even know their strengths. They don't even know their weaknesses. They don't even know what they have inside of them. They don't even know, like, they're just there. And, you know, there are times that you have some, you know, inbuilt inherent strength in you, and then it's just there lying fallow because you've not discovered yourself. You've not discovered who you are. And then you are finding it difficult to know. So it now seems like you are stuck in your field because you've not discovered yourself. So you need to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your traits. And you need to understand your DISC personality. What area are you dominance, influence, compliance, or steadiness? What parts of it are you? I'll share these free personality tests on the chat box so that we can all take this personality test so you can discover who exactly you are. When you discover who exactly you are, you'll be able to effectively know what is the right thing for you to do. Some people, because of their personality, they are more skilled to be auditors or accountants or be in the finance field. There's some, because of their personality, they're better skilled in being service providers, probably in customer service or service-oriented fields. But because they don't know who they are, they don't know their personalities, they are now in fields where they are struggling. Meanwhile, there are fields where it becomes so easy for them to do because that is who they are, and they'll be able to effectively flow in that field and grow exponentially. So it's important for us to know ourselves and get to know our personalities. So after you know yourself and discover yourself, next thing for you to acquire needed skills. So you've mapped out a plan for yourself. Oh, in the next 5 years, I want to be a data analyst. In the next 5 years, I want to be a product manager or HR director or this or that, whatever thing you plan for yourself. What are those things you need to acquire for you to get to that level? You can't use, you can't use the skills or the certifications for an entry level to be eyeing a C-suite position. It's not possible. So you need to know and determine what are those things. Do I need to go back to school to get an MBA, or do I need to get a professional certification? I take myself an example. I read my first degree is in agricultural economics, and I found myself in HR. So after saying that, okay, this is a field that I want to pursue, I had to sit down and say, okay, so what do I need to do? I didn't do HR. I didn't do sociology or psychology or those fields that are related to HR. I decided to go back to school to get an MBA focusing on human resource management. After that, I then went on to get my professional certification from HRCI, and then become a chartered member of CIPM. So all those things are things I have because I know where I want to go to. I've done my plan. I know my plan for myself, and I'm following this and getting every qualification, every skill that I needed to get to that point I want to get to. So as you have planned your career, as you've carried out your self-assessment, you need to also gain those skills, gain those certifications. Some people will say certificates is just paper. No, it's not just paper. It is important because there are certain levels you can't get to if you do not have certain qualifications. It's true, it's proven. You can't become a CFO in Nigeria if you are not a member of ICANN. You cannot become a CFO. It's not possible. No proper structured organization would hire anybody that doesn't have an ACA or an ACCA in Nigeria without having as a CFO. So it's important for you to get those necessary degrees or certifications that are needed for you to get to that level that you want to get to. Then after you acquire the needed skills, next, how else do you maximize the opportunities? Get a mentor and a sponsor. So we tend to like interplay these two roles. So a mentor is different from a sponsor. A sponsor can be a mentor, but a mentor might not necessarily be a sponsor. So a mentor is someone that acts like an advisor and supports you. So he is someone that has walked the path you have walked, though that have walked the path that you are about to walk, so that able to guide you in order for you to avoid making such mistakes. Why a sponsor is that person in that organization that speaks for you at tables where you are not there. You know, there are times when there are decisions being made about your career at tables where you are not there. Do you have a voice? Do you have someone that is speaking for you, both in your organization and in your field, as in your children? Do you have sponsors? It's important for us to get people who are our sponsors, people that will speak for us, people that can say, oh no, for this role, no, this girl, I've known her, no, she's good, she's the best for this role, and they'll recommend you for that. And it's also important for you to get a mentor, someone that you are vulnerable to, someone that you can bend to, that would help shaping you and guide you and lead you through the path you have chosen for yourself, in order for you to avoid making career mistakes and life mistakes in life. Mentors will advise you, sponsors will advocate for you. And in order to attain career growth, it's important to have both a mentor and a sponsor. Mentors will raise your confidence and problem-solving abilities. They'll be able to guide you. I know having a mentor, they'll say, like I recently had began my mentoring journey with my mentor, and it has been like a whole different level. I've been operating on my own, but now I decided to get a mentor, and then it's like I'm like, Jesus Christ, these things I have with me. So it's there. That they are able to unlock those hidden things in you. They're able to see you because they have gone through that path that you are going through. So they're able to see you and point to that, and know, this thing that you're about to do is not good. Go like this. If you want to get here, go through this path and you will get there. It's better for you identify your mentor. So you must not even have one mentor for different areas of your life. You can have different mentors for different areas of your life, because one person cannot just fit into your entire picture for your life. So you can have different mentors for different areas of your life. But the most important thing that you must be vulnerable to your mentor. If for your mentor to help you to get to that point you want to get to, you must be vulnerable to your mentor. You must be able to open up to your mentor, and you must allow yourself to be led. Someone that say, no, nobody can tell me anything. No, that one cannot do mentorship. Because for in mentorship, you must be able to listen, because you must be able to listen even when it's a tough instruction, or a tough part. You must be able to listen and then follow through whatever advice your mentor gives to you. So after you've identified a mentor and gotten a mentor, next thing is for you to gain mastery of your skills. You cannot exponentially grow your career if you've not gained mastery of your skills. The Bible says, sorry, I'm a Christian, so I always refer to the Bible. So the Bible says, do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. When you've gained mastery of your skills, meaning that you've gained expertise, you're now, you have dedicated and consistently delivered value. You have consistently shown that, see, this thing is me. I'm the person for the work. You've constantly shown value. You've constantly gained that mastery of your skills. You will just naturally be the one being thrown up for different opportunities. I take myself, for example, in my career, I was able to apply these things I'm sharing are practical things that I have used, that I am still using in my career, and I've grown to where I am. I'm someone that, first of all, as a person, I don't like when someone comes back to me and say, no, this thing you did is not correct, that is not accurate. So I take my time, I'm diligent to ensure that things I do and anything I do is accurate and correct, you know. Then even if there is need for any mistakes, very minimal. So you need to, how accurate do you deliver your job? Can your boss say, no, I'm confident in your work, I don't need to check your work, you know, because I'm confident that it is correct? Are you someone that your boss can say that? When you start hearing your boss say, no, I'm confident in your work, you know, you just submit projects to your boss and he really check and he's confident that, okay, no, I don't need to check through it because what she has given me is correct. Trust me, within a few times, you will see yourself being recommended for next level roles because you have gained mastery of your skills. You're able to deliver with less or no supervision. And that's like the pride of bosses. They have team members that they can, you know, trust their work to the point of not even checking it. So when you gain mastery of your skills, you know, you're able to get to that next level of your career. And you can't gain mastery if you're not aware of yourself. So that's why it's important for you to carry out a SWOT analysis of yourself, to understand your personalities and know, you know, how best to use your personality to your advantage. There's no personality that is a disadvantage. Some people will say, because I'm too quiet, or I'm too timid, or I'm shy, there's nothing I can do. No, there's something you can still do. You can still grow in your career, even within that your personality. It's just for you to identify what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and then work on them. And then your opportunities also, identify them and then work on them and build and use them to your advantage for you to grow your career. So after you gain mastery of your skills, next needs to be visible. Visibility is not eye service. I'm not saying you should be doing eye service. What I say, be visible. Visibility is possibility. Talk about your skills. Talk about what you can do. Position yourself on social networks, for example, LinkedIn. You know, some people, they like to work behind the scenes. I used to be like that also, working behind the scenes. You know, I'm just quiet, doing my work, delivering my tasks. Everybody's knowing who is doing it. But I said that over time, it's not helping me. People will come and be taking the glory of my work. Meanwhile, I've slaved and I've had sleepless nights, you know, stayed up throughout the night to deliver a task. And because I'm not able to say, okay, it's me and one that did it. This is what I did. This is how I did it. So I'm able to achieve it. People were taking the glory of my tasks. But when I started to become visible and talk about my skills and talk about what I did, how I did it, how I was able to achieve it, constantly delivering and constantly informing my boss of this is what I do. And even on LinkedIn, you know, posting about what I do, what I can do, my skills, my abilities, and my expertise. I became, you know, that go-to person for certain tasks because I have shown that I can do it. I've shown that this is what I can do. That is not that this is what I can do. I've positioned myself properly on LinkedIn. It's still a work in progress, but you have to be visible for you to fully maximize your career opportunities. You have to be visible. I've seen someone that wasn't considered for a role because people felt that he was too quiet. But this person is one that's been doing this stuff. But they say, we didn't know because he wasn't visible. He'll just do his work and then go home. But the other person that was visible was everywhere, you know. She was also delivering that, but she was very expressive of what she was doing. She was one being considered for that role. And the other person was not considered simply because he was seen as not being visible. He was seen as someone that could not talk because he was not, you know, expressing what he could do to management. So in all, you know, once you're able to imbibe these tips, have a plan, know yourself, acquire needed skills, get a mentor or a sponsor, gain mastery of your skills, and then be visible. once you're able to, carry out these different things, you'll be able to fully attain that career growth. You'll be able to maximize opportunities. He said that luck happens when opportunity meets preparation. Opportunities are abound, they are everywhere. But how prepared are you to grab the opportunity? It could come at a period when your boss is just on a simple 1 week leave. There was a time when I was a junior HR staff, and my line manager there went on leave. A report was required. She was unreachable. And then I was asked, can you do it? Because I know that I have seen her do it. I've asked her about it before, and I said, yes, I could do it. And I did that report. And that report is what made me stamp in the minds of the HODs. Then I know if this girl could do this report as a junior HR staff, that means there's nothing that she cannot do. And that's also, aided my growth in the organization also. So when we are able to imbibe all these things and practice all these things, and gain skills, gain mastery of our skills, we'll be able to attain that career growth that we desire. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chidiogo. That was a very insightful one, and that was cool. I picked something actually more than what we asked for is what you told us today, and we are really grateful for that. We must be visible, and not the eye service kind of visible, but visible with your efforts, showing that this is what you can do and this is how you can do it. I would have loved to give room for 2 persons to say what they learned, but I think we can still do that. So before we move on to Paul Adiago, I would like for 2 people to just unmute themselves, and in 30 seconds each, just say what you've taken from what Chidiogo said. Lux, we can't hear you. Okay. Okay, I can see your questions already in the chat room. We'll take that after we've added the second speaker give his own point. So Paul Adiago, over to you, please.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Good evening, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Chidiogo. Thank you very much. I learned a lot from your strategies and your story as well. Thank you for doing justice to that. So I literally have not much to say, but let me see what I can do. This is a very interesting topic, and I want to really appreciate Career Life Nigeria for lending me this platform. Maximizing opportunities for career growth. This is a very interesting conversation, kinds of conversations I like to have, especially among the young professionals. So, having listened to all that Chidiogo said, she has given enough for us to understand. So let me just add a few things. Number one, for me, the strategy for me, the one thing we must do, because our career growth is very important. If a career is the succession of the job or roles or responsibilities that you are going to be doing within your working lifetime, then you have to take it serious. Like I used to say to those who care to listen, never use Nigeria's what is happening in Nigeria, especially in the labor market. Never use it as an excuse. Don't say, okay, I want to be in the HR, but this is what I got, So because I could not get it, and then I will forget about it. Don't use that as an excuse. Use what you have to get to where you want to go, because all in all, by the time we look at the entire journey, we are still going to include the role you started with that you don't like. So if that's the case, you better take it serious from where you are right now. So what am I trying to say? I said all of that to say that career development, career growth is a compulsory, ongoing process. I said compulsory because you just have to do it. It just has to happen. And if it has to happen, you have to take it serious, because never forget that change, just as John Maxwell said, he said changes will always happen, but then growth is optional. You don't grow by mistake. Things may change by mistake beyond your control, but if you must grow, it's a conscious effort. So all that Chidiogo said, and I am going to be saying, they are things you must consciously do. They are efforts you must make because you want to make the best of your entire career. So now, number one for me, the number one strategy for me is capacity development. Capacity development. I don't know where you are right now. Are you on the career you want? Are you on the job you have always wanted? Are you already playing the role you have always wanted? You want to be an engineer. Are you one right now? You want to be a financial analyst. Is that what you are doing? Whether or not you are living your career dream, whether or not, it is important for everybody to know that capacity development is a big deal. It's a big leverage. It's a big leverage that every one of us only can undo. I can't grow on your behalf. Nobody can do that. You have to do it yourself. It's your career. It's your business. Like we used to say, everybody's minding their own business. So because each and every one of us are minding our businesses, you have to mind yours too. Don't just change. Grow. Don't just watch things happen. Make things happen. And one of those things that will help you make things happen is you increasing in your capacity to deliver. If it took you about 3 days to get a job done within your field, if it took you 3 days to get the job done last year, by now it should be taking you less than a day. In a matter of time, it should be taking you less than 3 hours. I don't know what you do, but let me give you from a very practical point of view. I saw something last week on social media, and somebody was saying writers are doing well. Why was he saying that? He said he spent about 6 hours trying to write a 500-word document, like a document containing 500 words, and you spent 6 whole hours. I don't care. I have flair for writing. I write as well. I write so what I'm trying to say is that because of my proficiency in writing, there is nothing I want to write in this life that will take me 6 hours, except if research is included in those 6 hours. But if research is different from what I am doing, I mean, nothing I want to write, a 500-word document that I will have to take 6 hours. That's because I built capacity. And when I'm saying this, I mean within the niche of what I write. If you give me a PhD thesis, it will take me a space of 3 weeks or so. But I am saying within the niche of what I write, I've been able to grow my proficiency, which is the same thing I'm telling you. Grow your proficiency, grow your capacity. And you don't grow your capacity by, yes, I know you are tempted to say that, yes, as I continue to do it, yes, I will get better. While that is true, it is not completely true. Yes, you can learn, you learn more, you do better by doing things over and over again. Yes, there is a place of repetition. There is a place of consistency. in developing your capacity. But there is another place for capacity development, which is about seeking higher knowledge. Because what is the use of capacity development if all you are doing is you are regurgitating old knowledge? All that you can do is what you have known to do. So you are just, let's use a writer for an example. No new knowledge. All you are doing every day is write. You are not reading. You are not seeking out to do things. You are not improving. Seek for knowledge. Don't just do it consistently. In capacity development, please don't get me wrong. In capacity development, I am not taking away the place of consistency. I am only adding another tool to that toolkit, which I am saying, in addition to consistency, also add higher knowledge. Seek higher knowledge. By the time you combine consistency plus higher knowledge, superior wisdom, exposure to clearer understanding, it will help you do better. Do you understand? Because at entry level or whatever level you are right now, something must distinguish you from the rest of the candidates. Whether you're applying for a job or you are being considered for a promotion, you are not the only one. In fact, the digital world, the global world has now made the labor market more competitive, because you are not just competing with those from your institution, those who you study the same course. You are competing with the rest of the world who are on LinkedIn and on other social media platforms that we know what they do, that your organizations see what they do. And of course, sometimes your organization wants those people, whether you like it or not. So these are the things I'm saying. Do it consistently, also pursue higher knowledge. Now, how do you know the knowledge to seek for? I don't know the niche where you are, but regardless of the niche where you are, every professional listening to me right now, I know you have other social media platforms. Maybe you are big on Instagram, some are big on Twitter, some are big on Facebook. Whatever platform you are on, you are big on, you must have a LinkedIn account. There's a distraction. Somebody is on mute. Okay, thank you very much for that. There is a distraction. Okay, thank you. Now, I am trying to say that, what I was trying to say is that now, LinkedIn for me is not just a place to connect with professionals. And I want you to learn this, because how would you know what capacity to develop? Let me give you one of the things I do with LinkedIn. I don't just use LinkedIn to connect with professionals. I don't just use LinkedIn to make posts and stay visible. I know Chidiogo said something on visibility and positioning. Beautiful. LinkedIn is a place to show that you are a professional. Of course, do that. Do that for yourself. Do that for your career growth and progress. But then let me add another thing you can use LinkedIn to do. You know, senior professionals in your field of interest. You know, people who have 20, 25 years of experience. You know people who are doing big things in your field of interest. LinkedIn is the only platform where you can go and check their education and certification. Those same people can be on Facebook and you don't know what they studied. You don't know the latest course they did. You don't know the school they went to. Those same people can be on Twitter and you don't know. But because all of us on LinkedIn are positioning for being seen in the global space and the organizations around, all of their qualifications, certifications, education, all of those things are there. They took a recent course, they are going to post it. Now, when you connect with people, don't just go and look at their profile picture. Mind your business. Don't just go and read their bio. Go and look at their work experiences. Go and look at their education and certifications, especially if they are senior professionals in your field of interest. That's how to know the next course you should go and do if you are planning to be like them in the next 5 years. Chidiogo talked about setting goals, having plans. Yes, how do you do that? You do that by benchmarking yourself with people who have gone ahead of you. That's a bigger strategy you can use LinkedIn to do. You can use LinkedIn to accomplish. Have a senior professional who is doing big things that I want to do, that I see myself doing in the next 5 years. I go to find out, what course did he do? What institution? What this, what that, pursue the same things to the best of your capacity, replicate the same strategies. See, let me tell you something. Stories are emotional, but then stories don't tell you what they do. Some of the stories can tell you what they do. I know we must have had people say, don't tell me God did it. Yes, of course, God did it, especially for me and a host of others who believe in God. But at the same time, this happens because they are sharing their story. God did it for them. You can't take it away that God did it for them because they believed in God. They believe in God, rather. You can't take it away. That's their story. But now, transcend beyond stories, move into strategies. And that's what LinkedIn will show you from their education and certification. Go and replicate those strategies. That's what to do. Okay, they said, are they saying they listen to so and so podcast? Uncle, go and listen to that same podcast. Are they recommending somebody on their LinkedIn profile? Go and check. Go and read their bios. Make note of those things. I don't want to overflog it, but I believe you understand by now all I am trying to talk about capacity development. That's how to know the next course you want to do. That's how to know the next, whether you want to do an MBA or you want to, and all of those things. It will help you a whole lot. It will also show you the membership they belong to and some other important things specifically for your niche. Thank you very much. I believe you understand. Now, number 2 for me is relationships. Let me say it again, relationships. Now, I understand, of course, I heard when Chidiogo said something about mentorship. I want to repeat it again. Mentorship is a significant part of relationships. Let me reiterate it so that you hear. Mentorships are a significant part of relationships, but that's not the only thing. For you, mentorship can be 50% of the relationships you need. It can be 70%, it can be 30%, whatever percent it is. Relationships with mentors are not 100%. Why? Let me state it clearly. Because you only need mentors, or you need mentors when you need to fill in your performance gaps. Let me say it again. Performance gaps. You need learning, you need capacity development when you have knowledge gaps, you don't know enough. That's why you need to take courses. You don't know enough. That's why you need to read books. You don't know enough. That's why you need to ask questions. Those are knowledge gaps. But now there are times you read, you get an MBA, just like Chidiogo said, she has an MBA. Specifically in human resource, but she still had to seek for a mentor because when you combine filling your knowledge gaps plus filling your performance gaps, you become really, really resourceful because you don't just have it here, you also have the results. It goes beyond what you know to what you can do. Yes, at entry level, people are interested in what you know. But as soon as you get into that organization, they are interested in what you can do. That is what mentorship can do for you. It can assist you to move from what you know to what you can do. It can even help you scale what you can do. I don't want to overflog what mentorship does because Chidiogo has done a beautiful thing about that. I want to talk about another part of relationships, which is relationships with others. I mean, the other people you don't consider as your mentor, the other people you don't consider as your sponsors. Now, I know people respect, they give reverence to their mentors, yes, but do not despise the other people. I beg you in the name of God. Do not despise other people in your workplace because they are not your mentors. Let me say it again. Because they are not your mentors, don't despise them. They might not be your sponsors. Don't despise them. In fact, be good to everyone. That's all I'm trying to say with relationships. Be good to everyone. I am a Christian, and permit me to use this example from the Bible. The story of Joseph. How many of you can remember Joseph? Do you remember how he moved from the slave, from the pits to the Potiphar's house and all that and all that? Now, this is the significant part I'm going to. You remember that Joseph was in the prison. Joseph, the dreamer, was in the prison, the man who feared God. You remember that he was in prison for a sin he did not commit. So he had every reason to blame God. But no, this man did not blame God. But I'm not talking about that God part now. I want to show you something. Joseph was in the prison, empathetic to people's situation. Joseph positioned himself that those two slaves who had those fellow prisoners who had their dreams could open up, could share their vulnerabilities with Joseph. If Joseph was a stranger to them, always frowning, always doing whatever he does in the negative sense, nobody will tell him anything. Remember, they shared this story. I'm not sure there has been an incident where Joseph shared where he interpreted anybody's dream in the prison. It was those dreams that were Bible's first record in the prison. So they didn't come to share that story with him because he was an interpreter of dreams. I can bet it that they shared those dreams with him because he was good to them. He was empathetic. Oh, why are you looking downcasted? Why is your face like this? He was good to them. He was kind to them. They shared their stories. He interpreted the stories. You know what next? Joseph had everything against him. He was an ex-convict. Joseph had everything against him. Potiphar. There was an allegation for why he was in prison. He was not an Egyptian. So you know what it is. For you to become the prime minister of a nation. Imagine being born in Nigeria. You have Nigerian citizenship. Can you wake up tomorrow and go and become the prime minister of the UK? I don't know. I don't know what can happen tomorrow. This is 2022. I'm just using the 2022 edition of this conversation to explain to you that something happened. There is a strategy we must implement. What is that strategy? Be good to everyone, not minding the role they are playing today. Whether she's the cleaner, be good to her. She is the receptionist, be kind to her. She is the one below you. Be kind to everybody. You never can tell who those people know that you don't know. Be kind to everyone. That is what can help it. See, another part of these relationships is that people are quick to form new relationships. People are quick to form new relationships. Okay, you met this person. Okay, you did this person. It is not enough for you to form new relationships. See, build relationships. Build, don't just form, build relationships. And I must tell you, relationship for me, aside the many beautiful things that Chidiogo has shared that has had impact on my career, relationship for me is a vital tool. And everybody who has had a growth on their career can attest to it. Relationship is a big deal. If it's a big deal, don't just form new relationships, build relationships. And if you must build, it will require hard work. It will require hard work. I mean hard work. But that hard work is costly. But the rewards come with manifold benefits. What am I trying to say? In trying to build relationships, we will do one thing Nigeria do not appreciate, which is volunteering. You volunteer, help people, be kind-hearted. See, be kind-hearted. Be kind-hearted. Don't just be sympathetic. Don't just, oh, sorry. Oh, that dream, man. Oh, sorry. And I wish I know it too. I wish I know how to interpret it. Oh, I don't. If that is what you can do at your level, you don't know how to interpret the dreams. You can sympathize with them. You can pray with them. You can do whatever works within that scenario. But if you can do more, do more. If you can do more, do more. Be kind-hearted. Somebody you are looking up to, somebody you want to be, you want that person to mentor you. Volunteer to assist them. Don't just be looking for what is in it for you. And because I said volunteer to assist people, it does not mean don't volunteer to assist people from a selfish interest. People can read from afar that you are coming with a selfish interest. Volunteer to help people because you are kind-hearted. Volunteer to support people, not just your mentors, but your fellows, your colleagues at work, people on the same level as you are. Support them. Help people. Support people. There are numerous stories across the scriptures that relate, and not just in the scriptures, but even in real time, even in our contemporary world. I can give countless examples of what relationships have done for me. That thing called favor that we enjoy and we pray for, such thing is premised on relationships. If you don't know, if they don't know you, they might likely not help you. So don't just let them know you. Let them know you to be somebody valuable, somebody they can trust, somebody reliable. And of course, that can be a leverage to maximizing opportunities. Now, I want to quickly finish up with this. I have two more strategies, so I'm just going to be fast about them. The third one for me is memberships, certifications, and licenses. I'm tying those three things in one because I don't know the niche where you are. Some niche requires licenses rather. Are you in life sciences? Okay, are you a biochemist, a microbiologist? Are you a medical life scientist? Are you in the medical field? If go and get your licenses, don't gather money, go and get your licenses. Those are leverages you can hinge upon. Go and get your licenses. If your career requires one, go and get it. Your career requires certifications. Go and get them. For example, don't just be an engineer. There is something we call COREN. I really can't remember. Council of Registered Engineers of Nigeria. That's what COREN means. Go and gather money and be COREN certified. Go and get money and be COREN certified. Go and get money and be COREN certified. For people in quantity surveying, for people in what field again? You know your fields. ICANN. Don't just be an accounting student. A graduate of accounting. Go stand up and go and get your ICANN. It will cost you money, but yes, get it done. Start saving up. Now, I've talked about certifications and licensing. Those are things, leverages you need to take seriously. Now, memberships is open to all. There are certain certifications that they will not just give you certificates. They will give you membership. I'm trying to remember some of those memberships. I think NIM gives membership. I'm not sure about the things I want to correct. I want to mention, but please verify. So don't just jump on certificates. Be sure it is credible and it is relevant. Be sure it is what holds gravity in your niche. If you're an icon going to collect one certificate from one nameless organization, that's your own business. Get certifications that hold water, that carry weight in your field. And don't just pursue that memberships and Data Science Nigeria, go and join them. Those ones are memberships. I know of that because I'm a member. And what else? And NIM, I think in the HR space too, they have memberships. Go and get those things too. It will help you a lot. You are a member of this, you'll be considered, you'll be seen you'll be seen differently. It's a winning edge for you in your career. So go and look for those relevant memberships. Now, the last one for me is attending high-profile events. Attend high-profile events. Like my friends and I used to say every Saturday, we used to tell ourselves, stand up and get out. Not minding Lagos traffic. We used to joke, we used to tell ourselves, stand up and get out. And what does that mean? That really means that go out. Go all out. Go all out and attend that event. Go all out and attend that event. Those high-profile events. I don't know what those events are for you in your organization or in your field, in your niche. I don't know. But there are some that go get out. That's where you meet people that think a whole lot higher than you think. Those are the places where you connect with professionals, senior level professionals in your field, in your career. So get out. So let me tell you what my friends and I used to say to one another. Uncle, auntie, get out. Don't be forming I'm an introvert. Get all out. Don't be saying Lagos is stressful, Saturdays for day to rest. Yes, I understand. Get out. The next 10 years of your career needs you to get out. So get out. And now, all of the things I shared above, I want to reiterate them because they still make sense here. When you go to those high-profile events, yes, I know you will introduce yourself. Now, for the introverts in the house, learn to introduce yourself well. Don't just say, I attended an event. This brings to my memories. I attended an event and somebody said, yeah, I am so and so. I am a 200 level student of. In my head, I was like, yeah, but why must you introduce yourself like that? Really? No. So if you're an undergraduate here, please, I belong to the school of thought that says, introduce yourself for the place you are going to, not where you are. Don't tell me you are a 200 level student of economics. Tell me that I am so and so person. Let me see if, okay, it's understandable that you must tell me where you are, but the picture won't be complete. I won't take you serious because you told me you're a 200 level student or a 300 level student. Include it where you are going to. I'm a student of computer science, and then this is where I'm going to. I am in that 2 minutes. What am I saying? In that 60-second conversation, let me know where you are if you must tell me and where you are heading to. Do you understand? That's it. So what am I trying to say? Don't just introduce yourself. Don't just collect their phone numbers. Don't just form new relationships. Build the relationships. You build by volunteering to assist them. You build the relationship by checking up on them. You build the relationship by supporting what they do, by sending them certain opportunities that matter to what you have heard about them. So when people are introducing themselves to you, don't just listen to their names. Who is he introducing you? Who is he introducing himself as? I am a dentist. Then you know that, okay, if I have dentistry opportunities, I can share with this person. Okay, is a realtor. Okay, and all of those things. That's the way it works. Relationships should not be one-sided. it has to be two-sided. Develop capacity. I've told you how to do that. Develop capacity. It is needed. Nobody wants a liability. Nobody wants a liability. So thank you very much. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much. So you can ask your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Coach Paul, for this enlightening session. That was very powerful. So we've heard from Chidiogo and then we've heard from Paul. Chidiogo mentioned that to maximize opportunities for career growth, you have to be available first. You have to also show visibility, and you have to be prepared for when the opportunity comes. That means whatever you need to fit in, whether getting that certification, getting a mentor, getting having a sponsor, you need all of these. And also, Paul also said, he also talked about relationships. Even the minutest person that you think has no, that you might feel have nothing to give you, they are also necessary to push you up there, right? So thank you so much, the facilitators. A big thank you to you. Now we are going to entertain questions from the participants, and we have some questions to read them out from the very first one, and then you can answer. So the first question is from Tosin, and Tosin is asked, this is a question. She says, I have worked for more than 10 years in different companies as admin manager and sometimes as admin and HR manager. How can I move to a full-fledged HR manager or take full responsibility for the overall strategic management of the organization? So I'm going to direct this question to Chidiogo. You did get the question?
Yes, I
or
did.
Would you
I'm going through the questions myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's asking how she has worked in many places for more than 10 years. Okay, so Tosin, first question I would ask you, you worked as an admin manager and sometimes admin and HR manager. Do you have any HR certification at all? That's the first question I would ask. Because for you to become a full-fledged HR manager, since you've done admin, and most organizations, they have that admin and HR unit together as one, whilst in some places it's separate. So have you gotten any HR certification, whether CIPM, PHRI, anyone at all? So if you've not, you need to go and get a HR certification. Or so it's just for recruiters to take you more seriously. And then you need to start applying for HR roles. You need to take online HR courses. There's some free courses available online on HR topics to build your knowledge about HR. So that's when you are going to interviews, you're not just talking as an admin person, you're speaking as a HR person. The different thing when you go for HR interviews and you're just talking about activities. What strategies, what things, what specific tasks have you done as HR? You can't just be saying, I've been responsible for the drivers, I've been responsible for this. No, so if you are in that department where the HR is put together with admin, start doing some HR tasks. Find out those specific HR tasks, things that are missing in that establishments where you are, and start doing it. In that way, your business leaders can take you more seriously and then transition you into HR. They can even convert your role from being admin into a HR. And you also need to get HR certification and also attend trainings in HR. When I started in HR, I started training. There are so many courses I attended. Anyway, I see training in HR, I will attend, I will pay the money, even though it's 10,000, I will pay the money. And this was way before I did my MBA. So you would see in my CV that I've been attending many HR trainings, different trainings, design thinking, HR management, different things. on about HR, just for me to build my own knowledge before I could now gather money to go and do my MBA and then write my SPHRM. Because so before that, I was going for HR trainings, building my knowledge, increasing my capacity. So you need to start doing that for you to transition if you need to become a full-fledged HR manager. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chidiogo. I would like to direct this question to Coach Paul. Do you establish mentorship, like meeting the person? This question is from Chuk Njoku, and he would like to know, do you establish mentorship, like meeting the person to officially declare your interest, or you just follow a mentor without meetup? I think it's saying you just pattern your lifestyle after this person without even meeting the person, or do you have to officially meet the person and declare your interest? So you would like to know. And also, how can you approach an admired mentor that is far beyond your level?
Okay, I think if it is called mentorship, the person has to know you. It has to be two-sided. If it is called mentorship, you don't have to follow the person and the person does not know you. If you are following the person and the person does not know you, I think we can call it a role model, because the person is having an impact on you but does not know you. But in my school of thought, if it is mentorship, the person has to know you and see you as a mentee, as you see the person as a mentor. That's the way it happens. If it is mentorship, how do you approach a mentor? So if it's a mentor, don't just follow. Get into the person's circle. But if it is somebody beyond your reach, maybe somebody who has passed on, or somebody who is outside Nigeria, or really what outside your circle, way beyond you, then I think you can just class the person into your role model. Now, how do you approach? I found somebody who can be my mentor because I can find access, or I can get an access to that person. You don't get mentorship by asking. Some people have done that, but in our world today, that's a lazy man strategy. Me, I won't take you serious, because please permit me to use this scripture to explain. Please permit me. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Yes, there are things you ask for. Make a request and it shall be given unto you. Ask and it shall be given unto you. But there is another passage of the scripture that says, give and it shall be given unto you. There are two ways to get. You can get by asking, you can get by giving. But then the Bible went ahead to tell you that when you give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed together, shaking together, shall men give unto your bosom. There is a difference in what you get. Somebody is giving you with it out of his conscious effort. He's giving you out of his abundance of his heart and good pleasure. And there's a difference in what you get. What am I trying to say? You don't seek for mentorship by asking, sir, I want you to be my mentor. Really? The person did not get to where he got to by mere asking. You have to do the job. Get into the person's face. Assist the person. If I want you to be my mentor, like for example, I know the founder of Career Life Nigeria, Miss Yewande Jinolu. If I want her to be my mentor, this is the way it's done. I can give myself a timing of 3 months. I know what to do, steadily, volunteering, not doing it because I want money from her. I'm doing it out of good pleasure and I'm assisting her. So 3 months later, when I now tell, she has seen me, whether she likes it or not, she has seen me doing stuff for her. And then I now say, ma, this is where I am going and I want you to mentor me. It's easy like that. That's the best way I can explain. Don't just seek for mentor by asking. volunteer, assist them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach. I would like to ask, Chidiogo, would you like to add to that? Or you've done enough justice?
Paul has been done enough justice, but I just want to talk about related to myself and how I've been able to get. So I have various mentors for different areas of my life. So how I'm able to get my mentor. First of all, I have positioned myself as a person of value, which is very important. So someone will not agree to mentor someone of no value. So there's one of my mentors, how she became my mentor. I joined her circle. She has a group of young professionals, so I joined that circle. I was attending her events, so she would always see me show up for her events. When she posts, I always like comment, like stuff like that. And then being that I always post on LinkedIn. So she also regularly sees my post and sees, okay, this person is someone that my head is there. So when we now had our first mentoring discussion, she was like, Chidiogo, I usually read your post on LinkedIn. I'm like, okay. And she was like telling me how she loves my post, how my post, I'm like, okay. So it was very easy for us to start that mentoring journey because she has seen me as a value-adding individual. Same thing with my other mentors also. So they've seen me as a value-added individual and they're able to help me in my journey in whatever space I need them to help me with. So you must show up as a person of value to them, for them to, there is, after you have shown traction as a person of value, that's at that point you can now meet them and then they can decide to, and then they can now mentor you. This universe has a way of playing things, to your favor. You can just be doing your thing, add to their circle, being in their circle, and then, an opportunity will just come up and then you guys just have that discussion. And from there, just, master, this is my challenge in life, and I want you to mentor me, seeing that you have walked through these parts and walked.
Okay.
Hello, sorry, did you get?
I can hear. No.
Hello, Temi.
I think we lost you. We lost you for some minutes. We didn't get you. But we can hear you now. Chidiogo, can you hear me? Okay. I think our network is not stable at the moment. So we'll just, but I'm sure we've got the point, what he's trying to say. We'll just move on to these questions that Chooks also asked. But Chooks, if you're still on this call, you can use the personality test that Chidiogo talked about to know your profile. So it's a profile assessment test and it's free. So for everyone, you can also do that at 123test.com. So the numbers, you're not spelling it out, the digit itself, 123test.com to take the profile assessment. But Paul, you can still help answer this question. Just is asking, in the case you are attacked by the syndrome of multi-talent, self-analysis is a challenge to me now. How can I overcome this? Or should I get
Jim, sorry, my internet knocked me off from.
Yes, it did. Because we didn't hear you, we lost you. Are you stable now? Can everyone hear me? Can anyone?
Hello, Temi.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I had to now use my phone to join. I don't know what's happening on my laptop. It's just throwing me out of the meeting. So I had to now join in from my phone.
All right. We're going to check another question from Chooks. And I've asked that he use the profile assessment to take to check for himself. But Chidiogo, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. Okay. So Chidiogo, please help answer this question from Chooks. He's asking because you are the one who addressed. So Chooks wants to know, in the case you are attacked by the syndrome of multi-talent, how can he overcome this? Or should he get someone to assess him? So for someone who is a multi-potential, like he believes he's capable of doing plenty things, and that has led him to a state of confusion. What should he do? How can he overcome the state he's in? Or would you advise he get someone to assess him? Did you get the question, Chidiogo?
Yes, I do. Okay, so I just want to advise everyone, for you to fully get to know your particular personality, when you are taking that personality test, don't think about it. You know, it will give you various options to choose which one is more like you and which one is least like you. Don't think about your answers. Just choose the answer that comes first to your mind. You know, and that will give you like your being that is taking that assessment like that will tell you your real personality. But when you start thinking about the responses, what to answer, you know, you're trying to program yourself. It will give you the true picture of the personality. But when you answer those questions, you know, just like that, as coming to you, as it comes to you, without thinking too much about it, to give you your real personality. So choose, you said you have different skills and all that. So you need to sit down with yourself and then decide which one of them do you want to pursue now. It's okay for you to transition through different careers. It's okay for you to be an engineer by day and a writer by night. It's okay. But if you have many skills, you need to know which one would be easier for me to begin and then start with that. Then over time, you can decide to now transition from this one into another one, but you need to sit down and then have that sit down yourself and then know, properly, some of them can just be interests. Like me, I'm a HR professional. I have interest in baking. I bake, but that will not mean I'll longer open a bakery. Because at this point in my life, that's not what I want to do. It might end up being maybe my exit from 9-to-5 life plan, but for now, that's not what I want to do. So you need to sit down with yourself and then decide from these various skills I have, which ones can I effectively, efficiently do now? And then which ones do I need? Because there's some skills that you have, but you know that it's not enough to get you your daily bread as at now, that you need to do some add-on, like you need this one to be moving before you can start doing this one. So you need to map out, you need to map out those your skills to know the ones to go first, and then over time in the course of your life, you can now transition gradually into all your interests. Hope I'm able to answer you, Hope the Chooks.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you so much, Diego. So, Paul, there's a question from you. Yeah. This is also from Chooks. Okay, he's saying he loves talking. How can he leverage on that? He discovered the art skill in counseling. How would you advise him to leverage on that, Paul?
Okay. First of all, I would like Chooks to know that counseling is a bit different from liking to talk. Both of them are a means of expression verbally, but then they are two different things. That they are verbal expression is the tool for the two of them, which is the similarity, but then their applications are different. So that you like to talk is not enough to be a counselor. But let me say, maybe it's because of the limitation of word count, having to express himself. That's why you wrote that question. So let me answer him for counseling. What do you like to counsel about? Like, is it about emotional intelligence? Is it about financial intelligence? Is it about career? Is it about, what exactly do you like to counsel people about? Is it their academics? What exactly is it? So you need to know what you like to counsel people about. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So what I am trying to say is that you need to have a niche. You can't just be a general counselor. You can be a general counselor, but at this, no, you need, because for different reasons, you need to have a niche of what you like to counsel people about. But I will go over it again to remind you that you like to talk is not enough to be a counselor. I hope I've answered your question, Chooks.
All right, thank you so much. We have a question from Ujiro here. Ujiro is asking, how do you make your company change a particular policy that does not speak so well of your organization? What strategy would you recommend to have it changed to the right way things should be without appearing too demanding? So I'll take it again. How do you make your company change a particular policy that does not speak so well of your organization? What strategy would you recommend to have it changed to the right way things should be without appearing too demanding? Chidiogo, that's for you.
Okay, Ujiro. So before you decide that this particular policy doesn't speak so well of organization and then going to reach your business leaders for to change it, you need to go with facts and figure data to your management. You need to show them, probably give an example of another organization. You need to research and find out if there's any organization that this particular policy has affected in a negative way. And then showing them, because you can't just go and say, this policy that we have now is not good. It's going to make all the bad lights. They'll say, hey, so this is what we want. But once you go to them and say, see, these things we are doing is against labor law, it's against the ILO, international labor law, it can potentially cause litigations. You know, employees can take us to court, sue us to court if they leave disgruntled and all that. Once you paint that picture, show them the damage it can cause, monetary value damage it can cause to the business. With that, they'll be able to see why it's important to change such policy. Once your business leaders are not seeing how something affects their bottom line, they're not going to answer you. But once you start showing them that, but once start showing that this thing is going to affect our profits, it's going to affect our brand, it's going to affect how people see us, it's going to cause us to lose investors, it's going to cause us to lose things. Once you show them how this policy can affect their money, that's when they'll be able to listen to you. So you need to come up, to do proper research. There are various instances of many court cases where employees have dragged their employers to court for various policies which they've won, and the employers have paid dearly for it. So once you're able to show them such examples, and I'm sure they'll be able to like align, you know, properly. And then you go there, there's a skill. Addressing business leaders is a skill. You have to learn how to address business leaders. You need to read body language. You need to read their mode and tone for you to know when to go and meet them. Thank you. I hope I'm able to, you know, address your questions properly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chidiogo. That was well said. Yes. So Ujiro, I hope that answers your question. You have to go with statistics. So and then you won't appear to demand. It won't be like you're bossing them around, right? All right. Chinwendu. So because now luxury time is not a luxury for every one of us, right? So we'll try to wrap up in good time. So I'm going to ask Chiwendu asked a question, and then Tosin also asked a question. I'll direct Chiwendu's question to Paul, and then Tosin's to Chidiogo. So this is it. Paul, this is your question. I discovered that I pay attention to details and love to write, but don't know if I can develop that as writing and editing skills. Please help.
Hello? Can you,
Yes.
now,
Should I
in
take the
response to
question
that,
again? Okay,
no, I'm
all
seeing
right.
the question. You like to
Okay.
pay attention to details, love to write, but don't know if I can develop that as writing. Of course, yes, you can. Attention to details is a skill I would like you to bring into writing. I don't know your niche. Maybe you are interested in non-fictions, fictions, creative writing, professional writing. I don't know what it is, but attention to details is important, regardless of your writing niche. It is needed because you should not gloss over certain details. They need to be included. And of course, there's a way you can play around story writing that you can. I don't want to get into this. This is not a writing class, so I don't. But definitely, attention to details is something you can imbibe in writing. I am saying all I said because I am a data analyst. I have I studied mathematics in the higher institution. So, and I have a flair for writing. I have developed my writing skills over the years. So attention to details is one of the things I brought from mathematics, from that methodical, logical background. I brought it into writing, and of course, it has assisted me to create a difference, a uniqueness for myself in writing. So you can bring it on your writing and editing skills. I hope I have answered your question, Chiwendu.
Coach Paul. So this is it. At the end, after Chidiogo would have answered Tosin's question, each facilitator would drop their handles. They can type it out now in the chat room, and then they would also say it out so that we can all network and connect with them, and subsequently you can always ask your questions, and even mentoring, as Paul has said, you can volunteer with him, check him out, and then later be free to ask for mentorship from either himself or Chidiogo. So Chidiogo, Tosin is asking, I'm sure you can see the question as well. Hope it is not in any way detrimental to someone to take certification in other areas that is not totally your field. For instance, an administrator taking certification in HSE, HR, PM, and Six Sigma certification in order to reduce waste and manage processes. Hope it will not be seen as a threat.
Listen, your development is your personal journey. Anybody that is seeing it as a threat to go and do their own. Being an administrator doesn't stop you from doing HS, that's health, safety, and environment. It's also important in your duty as an administrator. Project management is also important in your duty as an administrator. Getting the Six Sigma certification in order to teach you how to manage your waste and process is also important in your duty as an administrator. So these are things that are required in your role as an administrator. So it's not a threat. It's not in any way detrimental. Its position is going to help position you as a person that is knowledgeable in his or her field and knowledgeable of the required things, of the required certification that are expected. It will show you as someone that is very strategic, because all these things are required. I think I've done a course in Six Sigma before, and I'm a HR person. I've done project management before, and I'm a HR person. So it doesn't stop you. You just find a way to pick your learnings. There's no learning that is a waste. Just find a way to pick those learnings there and connect it to what you're doing to make your work better, and then position you as a person of value. It's not a threat. Anybody that sees that as a threat should go and do it on our own. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chidiego. Okay, so now we've come to the end of August knowledge sharing session, and we've answered all of the questions in the chat room. For participants, if you still have any more questions, please do well to connect with each participator, and we can end this call without acknowledging some of the senior professionals as well that are on this call. Thank you so much. I see all of you. Thank you so much for joining in and participating. I would just want to give 1 minute for any of the professionals that would want to just add their thoughts. If you would just want to add something to what the participators for the day have said. Thank you. Okay. All right, that's fine. Thank you so much once again, Coach Paul, and thank you also Chidiogo for doing this. I know you all have your schedules, but you made time out. And also to all the participants that joined in to get value, I'm sure you got value. Thank you so much as well for joining in. As I said earlier at the beginning of this Zoom call, Career Life Nigeria does this every month, and you can always follow us on all of our social media platforms to get details of joining our monthly sessions, and also if you follow us, we share weekly career tips on how to progress in your career. So please, Chidiogo, please give your handles, and after you've done that, Paul can also have the floor.
So I'm on LinkedIn as Chidiogo Agocha Ikena. Same way my name appears here on Zoom, same way it appears on LinkedIn. And I'm on Instagram as at Careers with Chi. So I'll just drop my LinkedIn. I'll drop it in the chat box. So on LinkedIn as Chidiogo Agocha Ikena, and the Instagram as Careers with Chi. Thank you.
Oh yes, please, Paul.
Yeah, my name is Paul Adia. LinkedIn. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook. I have presence on places still as Paul Adiago.
So I'll be dropping the link, the URL to my LinkedIn profile here. So I've just done that. Let me see if I can quickly get to Facebook. I have my presence on both places. So whatever is convenient for you, there. Oladiago.
Okay, thank you so much. And yes, so it's a wrap for today. And thank you once again to everybody. I don't know why, Jay, would you want to say something, or it's fine? And I saw Indy Day as well on this call, but it's left already. Okay. All right, so Coach Paul just dropped his Facebook link as well, so we can all connect with him. We can see Chidiogo's own, his Chidiogo Agota Ekena on LinkedIn, and then Careers with Chi on IG. Thank you so much, Coach Paul. Thank you so much, Chidiogo, for doing this. We do appreciate you, and thank you to every participant too that joined in. We hope you got value for your time. Thank you so much, and goodbye. Career Life Care.
Thank you, Temi, for the opportunity. Thank you, Career Life Nigeria. Thank you to everyone for sticking around and for listening to us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for lending me a platform, Career Life Nigeria. It's a pleasure being here, and I hope to do that again and again.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye, everyone.